Hello. Today I want to talk about a serious and urgent political topic, which is a new bill that the UK Parliament is currently debating, called Police, Crime and Sentencing Bill 2021. I will link all sources in the description, along with the document I made about how you can challenge this bill. The document will be updated. In case you don't know, protest is a human right. It is protected by Articles 19 and 20 of the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights and by Articles 10 and 11 of the UK Human Rights Act 1998. Article 10 covers freedom of expression, while Article 11 covers freedom of assembly and association. We all have the right to freely express our opinions, which includes gathering together with others and engaging in peaceful protest. Unfortunately, the current Conservative government has long been hell-bent on opposing human rights protections in our country. This particular bill seeks to further criminalize actions associated with peaceful protest, as well as give police officers more powers to suppress them. This is a reactionary response to disruptive movements such as Extinction Rebellion and Black Lives Matter, which utilize non-violent direct action. Under the new proposed law, you could get a prison sentence of up to 10 years for any protest-related action that the Home Secretary Priti Patel deems impactful or causing serious distress, inconvenience, or annoyance, such as sitting in a road, spray painting a monument, or making too much noise. Even if you disagree with blocking roads or damaging monuments, I hope we can agree that 10 years is a bit too much for that. By the way, this is on page 63 of the bill under intentionally or recklessly causing public nuisance. The wording of this law is extremely vague. What constitutes serious annoyance? The government's actions, as well as inactions on urgent matters such as climate breakdown, are causing me very serious annoyance, but I'm not seeing any of them going to jail for that. And if it's not disruptive, if it's not causing impact, then is it even a protest? There is only one reason why Extinction Rebellion do non-violent direct action. It's been scientifically proven to be the most effective way to bring about social change. It has worked for the suffragettes, the Black Civil Rights Movement, and Stonewall, to an extent. Considering that non-disruptive campaigning got us pretty much nowhere in a climate emergency, there simply isn't another option than to be disruptive, loud and annoying. Instead of considering XR and BLM's demands, the government has clearly chosen to shoot the messenger. If that wasn't bad enough, the proposed bill also gives the Home Secretary the power to amend it afterwards without parliamentary approval. Do I have to explain why this is extremely dangerous for democracy? If the Home Secretary can manipulate the law without the Parliament having to debate it, she can use it to target specific protest groups as she sees fit. She has been vocal about her distaste for both XR and BLM, so those movements will undeniably suffer as a result. Don't know if I can say the same about groups that align more closely with her own conservative values. Protest isn't the only thing that will be impacted by this bill. The bill is humongous at 307 pages long. Among other things, it also cracks down on unauthorized encampments, on similar grounds of distress or annoyance for the local community. This will criminalize homeless people and the traveler community for existing. It also makes it harder to prosecute police officers, gives them more power, and many other things. Just about the only good thing on this bill is tougher sentencing for sex offenders. Unfortunately, this has left some MPs distracted. I have emailed my MP and asked them to vote against the bill, and received the following response. Thank you for your email over the weekend about the Police Crime Sentencing and Courts Bill, which comes to the Commons today for its second reading. There has quite rightly been a significant focus on the protest elements of the bill. However, there are elements of the bill that will specifically protect female victims of crime. The bill includes measures to increase the time spent in jail by serious sex offenders. Serious and violent sex offenders who are sent to prison for 4 years or more will have to serve 2/3 of that sentence before they become eligible for release. Those who rape or sexually assault children will have to serve 2/3 of their sentence before they can even be considered for parole. I think those are important measures that I do not oppose. I find it very regrettable that they appear to be in support of this bill just because of that part. Women's groups have spoken out against this bill, saying that it is woefully inadequate in tackling violence against women and girls, and I am inclined to agree. Firstly, it doesn't actually change the maximum sentence for these people, who often get away with very little punishment, And actually, under this law, damaging a statue of a slave trader may carry a longer sentence than sexually assaulting a woman. Secondly, most of these crimes are unreported in the first place, and there's nothing on this bill about prevention. So it will likely do very little to actually protect women and girls, but will significantly damage their ability to protest against injustice. This is exactly what happened on Saturday, 13th of March 2021, where Metropolitan Police violently suppressed a peaceful gathering on Clapham Common in memory of Sarah Everard, who disappeared on the 3rd of March and was found deceased last week. The current suspect in custody is a serving officer of that very same police force. And yes, I do hear you saying, but what about COVID regulations? They shouldn't have gathered in the first place because that's illegal, we're in lockdown. Firstly, the actual event by Reclaim These Streets was cancelled, but people still wanted to mourn Sarah, so there was a vigil. It was lawful and socially distanced, but became challenging once people started giving speeches and more people started to gather. All the Met Police had to do was work with the vigil organizers in the first place to ensure it was safe. They refused to do so, and when a spontaneous gathering occurred, they could have stewarded it, something that I've done before on protests, basically reminding people to socially distance. Instead, they surrounded the attendees and kettled them tightly together, which clearly is much worse for COVID transmission than just letting them stand at 2 meters apart. And then they also violently arrested people. I don't think I need to explain the irony and the sheer awfulness of mostly male police officers violently suppressing a peaceful vigil by women demanding safer public spaces and mourning the death of a woman who was allegedly murdered by one of those police officers. It's like a perfect storm of terrible, and they don't even seem to care. We can't allow this to go unopposed, or we could find ourselves with significantly less free speech rights after this pandemic is over. So what can we do about this? The first thing you can do is sign Netpol's petition about protecting protest rights in the UK, linked in the description. The second thing is emailing your MP expressing your concern about this bill, which you should do as soon as possible if you can. I have created a document with a few email templates that you can use. The bill is currently on its second reading. In the second part of the email, my MP explained what that is. The second reading is effectively a mechanism whereby a bill gets consent from Parliament to move to the committee stage, where it will be scrutinised line by line, and importantly, where amendments will be tabled and debated. That is where this bill can be improved and changed. I have already agreed to table a cross-party amendment with Harriet Harman, and I will continue to look for ways to improve parts of this bill. But I do not agree that this bill should be thrown out entirely. If the bill does end up going forward, then still email your MP and ask them to propose amendments to it to stop the crackdown on protests. Everything is changing very quickly, so I will try to update my document with new resources as the situation progresses. Thirdly, before your right to protest is taken away, you can exercise this by joining Protest4Protest, which is a virtual action against this bill. There is a link in my document that explains how you can do it. This video is my way of participating in this protest. I tried to make it as quickly as I could. If you spot any factual mistakes or inaccuracies, please let me know, so I can fact check and correct those. Finally, it is important to let as many people know about this as possible. Get in touch with your local activist groups and ask them to boost this. Tell your friends and family, post on Twitter, on Facebook and TikTok. Don't be silent. Use the relevant hashtags such as policing bill, police crackdown bill, and reclaim these streets. If you think it's helpful, share this video or my resource document. And don't despair, we can still fix this. Power to the people. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, then you are welcome to subscribe to my channel, on which I make art and do activism. You can also follow me on my socials if you want to get in touch, or just see more of my art and opinions. If you'd like to support this channel, then you can give me a tip or commission a sketch on my Ko-fi page. This was Shrumi. Keep fighting, and I'll see you later. Goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this, you can subscribe to my channel for more artsy videos like this one. You can also like this video and share it with your friends and loved ones. It would really mean a lot to me. On my channel, I often use art to illustrate all kinds of conversations, such as social justice matters. You can view my series on internalized ableism through the link in the description. I also make pure art videos, review art supplies, and play around with art challenges. If this sounds up your alley, then you are most welcome to be my subscriber. Thanks again for watching, this was Rumi, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!